Okay, welcome to Shaar Hagilgulim. We've come back from Sefer Hagilgulim. Sefer Hagilgulim is going in a path of an introduction to Kabbalah, which makes sense. And Shaar Hagilgulim is a little bit different now that we've opened it up pretty far. So let's see how it's going to go. From where we left off. This is Hakdama Aleph, Daf Beis Amid Aleph. Chapter 1, page 2, side A. Peirush Hadvarim. Shiyasuk b'Torah u'b'mitzvahs asher hi kfi erech ha'asiya kula. V'lo yaspik kfi pratiyos. Makom achizis nafshoi. Hari zeh v'chinas kiyum ha'Torah v'ha'mitzvahs. Peirush Hadvarim. Explanation of things. Shiyasuk b'Torah mitzvahs, one who is deeply involved with Torah and mitzvahs. Asher hikfi erech ha'asiya kula, that he is. Let's read the Talmud Davash on this, the commentary. Hainu al yedei ha'isuk b'kol Torah shebeksav v'kiyum kol remach mitzvahs aseh kadesh yitkuno kol b'chinas hanafashos. Yeah, that makes sense. No chiddush. That he's in this world. How does a person come to this world? Olam ha'asiyah. By being oisik in Torah, in mitzvahs. Right? When you learn Torah, I just saw this too the other day. I can't remember where I saw this. That Torah, where did I see this? Where did I see that? Oh, man. I just don't remember where I saw it. But the idea is, oh man, now it just came to me again. Where did I see this? Maybe it was in the Rizal. Can't remember. Maybe Etz Chaim. That, yeah, I think it was, no, I know where I saw this. In the introduction to Talmud Esther's Spheris by the Sulam. That's where I saw it. That the Sod is in Atzilus, but the Pshat is in Asiyah. Got that? You only really land in this world when you're brought into this world from Torah and mitzvahs. V'lo yaspik fi pratiyos makom achizas nafsho. It's not. How does this work? It's not enough, according to the details of the place, to grab his soul. Right. That you say whatever is good for your nefesh is good enough. No, it isn't. You have to go out of your backyard to fulfill Torah and mitzvahs. You understand that? Torah and mitzvahs get you out of your comfort zone. You don't just do what your soul wants to do. What's the biggest proof? Ger. No Jew on the planet wants to make ger. It's way too foreign, way too strange, way too everything. But that's why it's a fantastic mitzvah. You know, I really have no business being in Cape Town. So there are places I've been. But that's the beauty of it. You put if you're a Jew, you put yourself in motion, you go to Gerland, and that's where the magic happens. You go and you find ger. If there's no Jew around, it's like the tree that falls down in the forest and there was no one there to hear it, didn't make a sound. So the Torah and mitzvahs are really the opportunity for manifesting in this world. That's it. The Torah is needed the most, exactly. If you are messed up in some portion of Asiyah, did you know that, how would you say this for an analogy? Did you know that I am a horrible cricket player? How many of you guys knew that? How many of you know that I am an embarrassment to cricket? But if cricket was a mitzvah, I would have a mitzvah to at least visit London and improve upon my cricket game. Did you know that? So you can't say that, non-Jews are really not for me. I like my shtetl. So let somebody else who's good with non-Jews go make ger. The Torah Kedosha says not so. Just because you are okay living in Flatbush, you have to venture out of your backyard and go where no man has gone before. Ha'amnam im eze nefesh acheres cheser melasois ezu mitzvah asher hima oilam ha'asiyah. Whatever im eze nefesh acheres cheser melasois ezu mitzvah asher hima oilam ha'asiyah. What if my nefesh is missing something from asiyah? Oh, im aser shum avera pogamba. Or he's done a particular sin and is blemished by it. Ein ze mechuyev l'taken chisayron mitzvah upagam shel avera zulaso. Ela im kain hayu shneim imakom echad kamoshis bar l'kamim izraz Hashem. What's he saying? Oh, im aser shum avera pagamba. Ein ze mechuyev l'taken chisayron mitzvah. Why? Ella imkin hayu shneihim. Ella imkin hayu shneihim amakum achad. We want to get some commentary on this one. What is it? He's saying that if I'm missing something in my soul of this world, or I'm blemished, I don't have to fix it, unless both of them are from one place. What does that mean? I got it. Am I a horrible person because I'm bad at cricket? Like, would God send me back to the world just to play cricket because I'm not good at cricket? No. Only when you're built and made by the Abishter to be a master cricket player and you did not do it, then you are obligated to fix it and do tshuva on your cricket playing ability. Let's just double check our work and make sure it checks out. Yeah, we got it. Go team, go team, go. Go team, go team, go. Oh, Efshar. Ki ein shem tikun neufel, ela betikun pagama vera bilvad, v'lo b'siyas kilo koremach mitzvizase. Oh, it's possible. Ki ein shem tikun neufel, ela betikun pagama vera bilvad. You don't have to. I don't have to go out and make myself a cricket player. Only if I was meant to be a cricket player and I took out a billboard ad, cricket is a horrible sport, go away. Then I'd have to fix that. I don't have to go out and banner every mitzvah that I don't do just because I don't do it. Unless I'm from that area of soul, then, like Eric said, I'm ignoring my mazel, and that's a problem. So, in Kabbalah, everything is placement. Raise your hand, type 1 if you have a soul. Type 1 if you have a soul. Do you know what your soul is? According to Lurianic Kabbalah, you know? You don't know. So I'll tell you. Your soul is nothing but a coordinate, type 1. You're coming from a place. That's why Hashem said to Adam, where are you? The question is not, who am I? It's, where am I? You understand that? You need to start thinking, where are you? Because your mazel is telling you where you are. You're just not reading your mazel because you're asking the wrong question. So if you come, as the Arizal says, from Malchus of Nukva, Avasiya, which is called Nefesh Avasiya, let's play a game. Are you interested in playing a game? Let's pretend you all come from Nefesh Avasiya, okay? Type 1. So here's the things that happen in Nefesh Avasiya. I'm making this up. This is not true. Tennis is from there. Batman's from there. Dining rooms and kitchenettes, dinette sets are there. Shoes are from there. Nintendo's from there. Candles are from there. Clouds are from there. I'm just making stuff up random. So those things, remember, this is you. You're from Nefesh Avasiya, aren't you? Type 1. Then as I'm distracting you, I'm saying, I don't even think Nintendo's legal. Nintendo is horrible. What would you say? If I was telling you, we're playing in a benign world here, don't go holy, non-holy on me. I'm saying Nintendo is for losers. Boo! Boo, Nintendo. You would have to view me as an enemy. No, you would have to stand up to me and say, look, I have a need to play Nintendo. It's just part of my soul. It's what I need to do. Why? Because you need to collect the kalim of your soul's coordinate, right? Nintendo has come down. Maybe it's a challenge for me, but for you, it's an acquisition of soul. Now, that's the vulgar concept. Let's make it a little holier. Now, let's make believe holy. Let's pretend that Shabbos is Nefesh Avasiya. Okay? Let's say all other matters of Torah are not Nefesh Avasiya. So is a bar mitzvah Nefesh Avasiya? No. Is marriage? No. Is tefillin? No. Is davening? No. But is kiddush, hamotzi, rest? Yeah. When our game will say, yeah, that's Nefesh Avasiya. Okay. So if this is your soul, you would be on a scavenger hunt, Eric Bryan. You would say, man, Rabbi Katz, can you read my mazel? For some reason, I just need candles in my life. And, you know, let's say your wife would have a secret thing. She always wanted to light candles, but she never told you because who talks like that? Well, Eric, when I met you, I always knew I wanted to light candles. No one says that. Without an infrastructure of Shabbos in your kalim, you don't even know to say it. She thinks it. When she sees movies with candles, she says, ooh, that could be me. Right? And you like to hunt and you have knives. And you say, why do I like knives so much? You don't realize it's a challah knife. Cutting challah on Friday night. Right? So you would have these strange mazel inclinations. And the more you're in klippa, you know, your wife would think she's a pyromaniac and that you're a hunter. Really, it's called lighting Shabbos candles and cutting challah. So as you come out of klippa, you would sanctify those things in your soul, and as you would go about your week, you would sanctify your soul in these aspects. So you understand what we're saying here? You're on a scavenger hunt for the mitzvahs of your soul's coordinate. Vehine mishalo taken. Rak malchis shel asiya. Ein bo rak nefesh HaNefesh Shebe'asiyah. So Eric likes to do Shabbos, and we're going to use the mushal of a knife and challah. And he came out of Klippa. He now looks forward to cutting challah in a nice holy way. But he believes that it's only for the sake, literally, of cutting the bread. He only got as far as cut the bread, eat the bread. Nefesh of Asiyah. Right, Eric? Umishatakin gam zeronpin de Asiyah. Then Eric wants to grow into zeranpin of Asiyah. Yibo nefesh ruach min Asiyah. He wants the spirituality of cutting bread type 1. He starts to question, why do I want to cut bread so bad? Ve'im taken gam ima da'asiyah. He wants to fully comprehend. Yuba nefesh ruach neshama min asiyah. He says, acha. The union of, I'm making this part up, the union of man and wife is when she watches me cut the bread. Right? So that's Hasidic angle. V'chein al derek zeh. Ad shenimsa ki misha takin kol chamisha partzufim de asiyah yesh lo nefesh ruach neshama chaya yachida v'kol chamisha b'china seilu. So then Eric will elevate for the rest of his life from coming out of Klippa, from cutting challah, to why we cut challah, to how it's a family zach to cut challah. And basically, he will find the essence of the mazel of challah, why we have bread and knives and salt and cutting boards, all these things on Shabbos in the highest spirituality type 1. Kol bechina mechamishasun, shleima b'shleisha chalakim, shehein ibor v'yanigo moichin. What he did was, he felt empty all of a sudden. He had a great life in Klippa. He felt horrible one day. The Goyish Welt would say, that's too bad. You should take an antidepressant. But the Yiddish Welt said, that's a great schus. It means there's an ibor. It means the spirituality is impregnating him. And then he starts reading and desiring to know more. That is called suckling. Then he gets as Mike would say, the mohin. The mohin come in, and that's when it's worth it. He has his aha moment, and he connects to God through the mitzvah in Asiyah. If that's not beautiful, folks, I quit and I'm out of here. Kenizkar v'pasik umeil katin tasilo imoy. Nikras nefesh shlema da'asiyah. He basically is a man of Asiyah. He has perfected this world, and it's attainable. You can do it. He is seriously nourishing his nefesh. He's not going to miss Shabbos. He's going to get the challah. He's going to go to work in the week to maintain parnasa for his family. Right? Eric, on this level, is a man who eats challah for the sake of heaven. Then he merits to have his head pop into the world of Yitzira, the angelic world of creation, where he will start working on the ruach. He's going to start becoming fascinated with different questions. How does bread come into our world? He will start to ask. How is it that I get parnasa and shefa every week? He will start to go through existentialism, type 1. V'gam b'chelik ze nikra ruach. Yesh bo kol chamesh madregas niskarim v'kulam nikraim ruach shalem niyitzira. He will walk away going through Ibor, Yanika, Mohin, Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama Chaya Yechida. Eric will know how Shefa comes into this world. Then he's going to go into the Neshama of Bria and Chaya, in Yechida, and we don't have to go to length of this. If he elevates that mitzvah of his nefesh out of Yetzirah, he'll go to Bria, and he'll start to understand how God takes care of the world. Then he'll go into Atzilus, and he will start to fathom how bread comes through the Sfirot. Then he will understand how it's all one. And his soul, yet a little fractal of Asiya, will understand and comprehend the Gilui Yechudo, the unity, and what's that word? Yichud in Hebrew, in English. How do you say that? Union of God with creation, type 1. And now Tzarishin Evayer Chilug Echad Sheyesh Ben HaNefesh Shel Asiya El Shaar Hagilgulim Shamin Yetzirah Bria Natzilis Ubezeh Yizvayer Gam Kein Teima Gedula She'ech Yevshar Shemisha Sharashoy B'Malchus Darsiya. This guy named Eric, he's saying, how is it possible that he goes up? Yokula Alus on Keter Darsiya Kenizkar. How does he elevate from being a simple chap who just wants to eat bread to understanding how really bread becomes Metatron? Sheim ke nimsa shekevan shekol b'nei Yisrael muchrachim li's galgil ad sheyishlema b'kol naranchai. That since all of b'nei Yisrael are forced to reincarnate until they complete all of their soul, nimsa shemuchrach ushakulam yisalu b'keser da'asiya u'b'keser d'yitzira b'keser d'bria V'kol shar b'chinas yu batlin. Okay, so they want to say all the rest of the levels are negated. So if Eric goes from a regular eating bread guy to a spiritually eating bread guy, why do you still want to eat, Eric Bryan? You should not want to eat anymore. You should be happy with knowing why food is eaten rather than wanting to eat. Hear the chap? You should have lost your appetite. So why do you still retain an appetite? You're trying to become spiritual, but you're still an animal. Shouldn't you try to start being spiritual and lose the animal? However, don't think this. It's simple. Some people are just rooted there. They are Malchus people. I'm not or Bior Indian Zehu Taloy Mashi Navayer. He yesh chiluk bein ha'asiya l'shar shleisha oilam sh'lashtam biyachad. There's a difference between Asiya, the lower world, and the other worlds. The huba oifen zeh. It happens in this way. Da ki b'inyan ha'asiya levada. In Asiya alone, in this way, Kimisha Shurashoy b'malchus Asiya, our Eric person, Pashut hu ki nafsho, he b'malchus Asiya b'dafka. It's when you're rooted. It's, you know what it is? I'll give you a perfect mashal. Who wants a perfect mashal? Who wants a perfect mashal? How many of you seen Star Trek Next Generation? How many of you have ever heard of Jean-Luc Picard? How many of you are aware that Jean-Luc Picard has the chutzpah to remove Wesley Crusher from the console and pilot the ship? How many of you know why he does that? because Picard rose the ranks from being a pilot, and even the best Starfleet captain ever never loses the wisdom of a pilot. Is that good or what? You never lose your route, right? If you are a traffic cop and then you become Nick Nolte, you're still a traffic cop. Whatever little stupid wisdom you have, and then you elevate to supremacy, you really got to supremacy from elevating your little stupid wisdom to where you realize it's not stupid at all. It gets elevated. The irony is we can take very simple things in this world and elevate them very high. It's really a miracle and one of the beauties of wisdom. So that's the thing. The Eric Bryan guy never loses focus of the goal. Friday night, remember, how do you gain this world? Through the mitzvah and Torah. You don't stop eating challah. This is one of the attacks I've heard on Yeshu. I don't know if this is authentic Yeshu stuff, but it's what they say in yeshivas. The Yeshu wanted to say it's the light of the mitzvah, and they wanted to remove the mitzvah itself. So what do the Jewish people represent? Even though you learn about the mitzvah, you don't stop eating challah. So you only got to making the challah because you refined yourself to come to the mitzvah. And you purified your soul level after level until you reached Keter V'Siyah. So you broke out a klippah, you sanctified the Shabbos, you understand that challah, let's say in Keser, is symbolic of the Shefa of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'tuchlal v'yisrael ad sham mamish. You really do believe that you're eating angelic bread. Avalim kol zeh shala ada keser da'asiyah adayin sham einu rak v'chinas malchus the Keter V'Siyah. You adayin sham einu rak v'chinas malchus. Even when you believe, Eric Bryan, that you're eating angelic food, type 1, which is Keser Avasiyah, you know what you still do? You are a human, and you cannot conceive of angels not eating their food, at least from borrowed language. So what do you promptly do? You eat your food. Right? Even if it's Keser V'Siyah, he says it's Malchus of Keser V'Siyah. Right? I am a detective, but I'm a street cop wisdom of detective. Ki ein sharasho rak v'chinas Malchus. It really, you're not Nefesh, and you're not Keter, and you're not a Siyah, you're Malchus. So wherever your Malchus, you're Malchus. Right? Wherever your coordinate is, your coordinate is. Eric, if you have a coordinate where you live right now, type 1. If I moved you to Singapore, you know where you would go? You would find the Eric Bryan program in Singapore. It's called Mazel, ladies and gentlemen. You would fall into it every time, right? You would with your cop background, you'd be on a walk on the boardwalk, and you'd see a cop. You wouldn't resist yourself. You'd have to start talking to him. Oh, what kind of guns do you guys use? Oh, yeah, we had that too. Then you'd say, hey, do you take volunteers? He'd say, man, I thought you'd never ask. You'd say, yeah, I know. I can see it written all over your face. In fact, I had the whole place sized up. And he would say, man, you're awesome. Are you Eric Bryan? You'd say, yeah, I am. You'd say, here, take your position here in Singapore. It's the same mazel you run everywhere. Everywhere. You can change your mazel, but really, wherever you go, you're just going to take your coordinate. You may come out of Klippa. You may elevate your coordinate, but it's just a spiral. you will end up with the same people, same circumstances every time. So it gets better when you improve and purify. When you hate your life, all you're saying is you hate Klippa, right? When you say, I hate McDonald's, you're not saying I hate food. You're not even saying you hate hamburgers. You're saying you hate chemicals and bad, unhealthy things. But you probably still like hamburgers. Aval muchrachu shetzari she is dakach ad shila ad keser mamish, right? But you got to elevate until you really do eat bread with the angels, right? So if you reach malchus of that, you better be serving food to Abraham's people. See what I'm saying? Afal pisha dayin azeno nikra rakchis malchus keter asiya. Al derek zeb Shaar Hagilgulim asiya ki eno nikra rakchis malchus ash madrehi. Anam yitzira bria yitzilus ein devar ken. Everywhere you go, you gotta elevate. You gotta keep it real, but you gotta reach the elevated place. All right. Amna misha sharasho rucho b'malchus shel yatzira v'takin v'hashli madrega zois kashi zog v'takin gam yisod yatzira az yikabel gam came ruach echad mini yisod yatzira mamish v'ruach harishon asher lo b'malchus yatzira nishar lamata b'malchus yatzira ki sham koimo. Again. Now Eric is no longer in Asiya. He is Malchus of Yetzira. This guy is a weird guy. You see this? He doesn't even manifest in our world. When he eats bread, he's not satisfied. He is perplexed because he wants to know how angels eat their food. Do you see why this guy's going to have problems? Because there's no infrastructure of thought for this guy. He's never going to fit in. He's going to be a weirdo. You understand? Which, by the way, most of us are weirdos, which is why we have a hard time communicating. Because you're trying to answer a riddle to a coordinate that makes no sense. You're trying to figure out, how do I get the angels their food? Then you got to purify and fix it also Yesod of Yetzirah. So let's say you figure it out through learning Kabbalah. Then you got to figure out where the food comes from for angels. Then Yekabel Ruach Echad Min Yesod the Yetzirah Mamish. So since you are Ruach, Sharucho b'Malchus, Shashar Sharucho b'Malchus of Yetzirah. Yeah, you lined everything up, right? Yetzirah, Yesod, Ruach. It all lined up. Then the Ruach Rishon Asher lo Malchus of Yetzirah Nishar Lamata b'Malchus of Yetzirah. So you were trying to figure out, Eric, how angels got their bread. Then you figured it out, and you went and you got where the bread for them comes from. So now you really have two ruachs, right? Your lower ruach isn't negated; it stays there. So you're building on top of it. Kisham Mekomo, and so forth and so on. All the levels of Yetzirah. Yania Gamis Ruach Sheni Asher Lo Min Yesod. Yesod Yetzirah. V'Yakaba Ruach Echad Min Ahod Yetzirah. V'Chino Derek Zeh Ad Keter the Yetzirah. So you would stack up Ruach all the way from Keter of Yetzirah to Malchus of Yetzirah. So you would basically have a very thick, tangible Yetzirah. You would build the world of Yetzirah in your soul. Lafisha Kevar Shatakin is Nafsho Lafisha Geva Shatakin is Nasha Bakul Madregas Asiya. Yeshbo Yechulis Lakabel Ruach Makul Chelka Yitzira Kula. V'chein Ha'inyan V'chinas Neshama. Okay, so you already got to Keter of Asiya, right, Eric? Then your Asiya is like done. You figured it out. Then you went to Yitzira and you figured that out too. So now you have Yitzira piggybacking on your Asiya. You would essentially, then also in Bria and Atzilus. If you can do this, you would be a very tall soul. You see what I'm saying by tall? You have your little coordinate, and you would lay down all these levels of attainment and accomplishment on your soul. You would essentially become a pipeline of comprehension of how God interacts with this world. So you get as high as your comprehension goes by your level of purity of your soul and your intellect. So if you're not understanding how Yetzirah works, then you're gonna hit your head in the ceiling. Yeah, exactly, antenna. Then you figured out how it works, and you go to Bria. But then you got to bring that into your being of Asiya. So eventually you're like angels on the Jacob's ladder, running and returning. Sarik shenivayir tamila amor v'hula fisha Asiya hila mata bekul ha'oilamus l'chein hina tuna sham bein aklipis hasayvim oisa. But you are still in Asiya, and you're next to all the klipas. Therefore, afal pi shekvara adam takin nafsho kafi bechinas makum sharashu asher basiya. You did your soul's satisfaction trying to understand why and how you eat bread and where angels get their bread from. Im kozeh im yanichna. Sham yesh pachad ulai yis achzu ba klipis asher sham. But as Eric, you grow in your kiddush and hamotzi, eating bread and lechem on Shabbos, you still are not Jewish. You're a ger, and you're going to have your ger friends and non-ger friends over for Shabbos because you're a good person, and you got to realize they're not you. So even if you have your good friends, eventually you're going to get klipa coming to your house, and they're going to want to grab onto your levels of holiness. Do you understand that? So there's going to be a close proximity with evil, with klipa, because ultimately your coordinate is in Asiya. And therefore you need to purify your actions more and more. You got to become Jordan Burroughs. You got to become impenetrable. You got to become secure and protected. Otherwise, they will rape you for your light. You got to elevate as high as you can. If you can get to Keser of Asiya, then they're not going to have any comprehension of what you're on about. That's right. If you're talking to angels and food, even the bad are going to be subordinate to you. They're going to say, okay, this guy's just got his own deal. Then you might have to try to get to Yetzirah. Mikol shekein shara oilim shomala mimena ein shum pachad machizas haklipis asher be'oilam ha'asiya. If you get out of Asiya, you elevate your coordinate, you have no fear of the klippas. Therefore, you need to talk in rucho, b'sharsho asher b'yitzira. That's why you got to fix your ruach more than your nefesh. Your nefesh is for you. Your ruach secures your nefesh. Then the klippas can't touch you. This is the essence of Chassidus right here, by the way. This is the essence of what the Gaon is talking about in Evan Shlema, right? The divine, Ruach HaKodesh. Because when your Ruach is Kodesh and your speech comes from there, you will freak out the Klippas. it will be so holy what comes out, and so much mazel, they will subordinate. Hine im yitokin yoiser az yishar rucho arishon sham b'makom sharasho. Then you remain your first ruach there in its place of its root, and it suckles the second root more elyon lamaila. The answerik la'alos es rucho rishon lamaila. See, once you establish your ruach here, then it will receive the shefa from your ruach on high. Ki ein sham pachad. Your higher ruach was freed up and isn't under attack. So you can eat your bread in peace. Meanwhile, you have kavana of the mitzvah, and the klippas think you're just some guy eating bread. And then your ruach is infused with your higher ruach, all the more so they don't want any piece of it. Let's stop there for that. Okay. This is for you, Eric Brian. Here we go in Encyclopedia Mazel teaching. Sefer Chasidim Malach Mazlo Shel Ha'adam Yispalel Avuro She Yishma Hashem Tefilaso Shel Ha'adam. It's brought in Sefer Chasidim that an angel Mazlo Shel Ha'adam Yispalel Avuro. You have an angel that is your mazel. You literally have your mazel. You have a mazel representative. You got that? It's pretty powerful. And his job is to daven for you. It's just kind of your mazel. You know how there's Kruvim on the ark? You kind of got that action going on. That's why you're man and not an animal. And it is here to represent you. That when we say God hears prayer in the Shmona Esrei and in Tehillim 65:3, Shoymeya Tefilos, God hears prayers. Eino Oimer Ela Shomeya Tefila. Rather, he hears prayer. He hears tefillah. Zo tefillah shel malach mazlo shel adam shehu mispalel al ha'adam. This is the tefillah of the angel of the mazel of the man that he is praying on the man, and that God hears the prayer of the man. This is your witness. Kol basar yavo. Pretty incredible, isn't it? So when you pray, you're shaking up mazel. God hears it. You're basically you're illuminating or turning the on button to your mazel. And your mazel is just it goes with you. It's there. It does stuff. I mean, I'll tell you. I think this is a case of mazel. I was typing on my messenger on my smartphone, and I know for a fact I did not push one of the buttons. I pushed one next to it by accident. And I'm saying, I looked at the button. I know what I meant to press. Why did my finger literally go and miss the mark by a whole letter? I.e., why are there typos? I.e., why do files and documents become corrupt? Because of mazel. Your body, remember, is an animal, and your soul is driving the animal, and your mazel is there. You make stupid mistakes. Why do you make dumb mistakes? It's your mazel. It's your mazel. Sometimes you can't control what comes out of your mouth. You can't control what you write. You just lose control sometimes. That's the mazel. My favorite mazel is when someone says on Messenger, "Hey, how are you?" You respond with, "Oh, I'm God." That's always the worst one, isn't it? It's like, I mean, I never know if people understand that that's a common typo. Or how about this? When I go on my dating website, JWed, I type by accident with Mazel every single time? J-Weed. And it's like, okay, here we go, J-Weed again. It's JWed. So it's fine. It happens. It just, every single time, there's crazy Mazel like that. I mean, on everything we do. Hamshich Sefer Chasidim Kol Ma Sheha Adam Osei Malach Mazlo Mara Oso Inyan Lomaila Kodesh Baruch Hu Shema B'Mitzrayim Gam Estefilas Malachim Mazlo. The Sefer Chasidim goes on, all that a man does, the Malach, the angel of his Mazel, shows him the Inyan above. Because Baruch Hu here heard in Egypt also the prayers of the angels of Mazel. That every Inyan a man does, the angel of his Mazel appears with him, the Inyan above, that the intention is as below as it is above. And also I heard the cries of Israel to include the angels of Mazel. So then he goes on this spiel from the different sources, the same concept that when you davening and you pleading. So, I think I just got a nice chiddush. I got a really nice chiddush. This is for you, Eric Bryan. Why did King David have the most impeccable wisdom of how to serve the Lord? The answer? Because David cried so much, and then his angel cried so much that it revealed to David through Hashem answering the cries of the Mazel. Meaning David he must have had the most powerful Mazel ever. A lot of these proofs are coming from Psalms. So basically what it was is that David had to suffer so that his Mazel would prevail in Shemayim, and God would hear it and act on it, and David got the wisdom from the revelation of the prayer and the Mazel. And it says every man has Mazel in the Rakia. It's very interesting. So this Rebbe, the four men that went into Pardes, it says they went into the Rakia by name. I think that's what looks like that's what they were doing. They were investigating Mazel. So that's what they were doing. That's the Pardes. Hold on a second. He's giving like background stuff. It's not really for us. Okay, here's a good place to start next time. Okay, that's all for today. So we got a good place to start next time. The idea that Torah comes from Mazel.